So I got pulled over in my big lifted F-250 on my way home from my 27-hour shift at Burger King. The police told me that they seen my flock camera stealing packages 12 hours ago, even though I was working my 27-hour shift at Burger King. That actually happened to somebody before. I'm not talking out of my rear end. Police have actually shown up to people's houses. This has happened to one person, but apparently she was met with the police at the door wanting to talk to her about thinking she stole packages, and they're saying they tracked her truck because she assumed they stole a package, and the police only showed up at her door with printed out pictures of her truck with timestamps. This is crazy because this can happen to anybody, but luckily she proven that she was guilty with timestamps of her truck and everything, because she had an electrical truck. They have a bunch of cameras on them, like the Teslas and everything. I think it was like a Rivian truck, but she had to use the Rivian's truck cameras and surveillance footage from her friend's house to prove that she was not the one stealing packages, because apparently they thought it was her stealing packages. So basically, you need more surveillance than Ring cameras to make sure you don't have any wrongdoing used against you, any wrongdoing done to you with the usage of flock cameras. And it's sad because flock cameras on paper sound like a good idea. Like, of course, you know, you're walking in a place that's dark and you know there's cameras, so you know most people would probably think twice about doing something. Or like, say you commute with a friend, right? You don't want to drive, you guys meet up, you park somewhere safe because you don't want to drive two vehicles everywhere or something, and you park it safe like a Planet Fitness or like a Walmart or something like that, you know, or like a shopping center, you know, where there's going to be cameras on your vehicle in case somebody hits it or tries to bust your window and take your chapstick out of it or something. But they're just abused and they're invasive. They don't feel like they're meant for safety. They feel like they're more meant for data, stealing your information, stealing what you're doing day to day, where you're at, and of course the cops abusing it. They have full access to these cameras, and it has already been cases of them abusing these. They've been like stalking their ex-girlfriends or baby mamas or whatever with them, and they just have full control. I've seen a video of a guy revving his Harley, and you know, it was shooting flames out of the back, and the cops pinpointed the location of it using the sonar sound waves from all the flock cameras in the surrounding areas, and he was showing them, which is insane to me. I don't think they should be used for this level of surveillance. I think they should be checked, maybe I'd say routinely, maybe like people checking them, make sure, just checking areas, or even just checking when something gets called in that area. But they're just way too invasive, because one person in Texas claimed a license plate search for a missing person. It was an abortion investigation. Apparently they were like tracking her down because they went and got an abortion, and they were saying that they were searching for a missing person. So the Johnson County Sheriff's Office conducted a nationwide search of more than 83,000 flock cameras. Given the reason in the search log had an abortion search for female, both the sheriff's office and flock safety have attempted to downplay the search as akin to a search for a missing person, claiming deputies were only looking for the woman to check on her welfare and that officers found a large amount of blood at the scene. Flock Camera went so far to assert that journalists and advocates covering the story intentionally misrepresented the facts, describing it as misreporting and clickbait driven. Thankfully, that sheriff has been arrested and indicted on felony counts in an unrelated sexual harassment and whistleblower retaliation case that says he's been charged with aggravated perjury for allegedly lying to a grand jury. So these people have access to your life. They can look up where you're at, where you've been at. Just basically just access to your whole life. And apparently another person, an Air Force engineer, has been accused of cutting down 13 police cameras. And of course, the guy states they're unconstitutional. So he got some crazy charges. He faces 13 felony counts of destruction of property. That's a lot. 6 counts of petty larceny and 6 counts of possession of burglary with tools tied to 13 flock cameras that were damaged between April and October 2025, and he's pleaded not guilty because of course he says they're unconstitutional. And 13 felony charges is some crazy charges. If these go through, this guy will be probably spending quite a bit of time in the pen. 13 felony counts. He's probably going to be in there for a while. And when they get taken down, nobody's paying for these but us. They're being, I'm pretty sure these are our tax dollars just being spent. So thank you. A 1-bedroom is like $3,000 a month in some places, but it's okay. We have flock cameras. Thank you. So don't tear these down. I know a lot of people, especially the Nimrods on Facebook, are like, they contain 5 pounds of gold, da 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 da. And it's just, you just sound stupid. And I mean, if you do these, apparently you're catching a felony charge for taking these down. So taking these down it's a big risk because apparently they can see your face and your walking patterns and everything like that. And they're like, you can put a rock in your weird stuff like that I don't even know if it works, you know? And it's a big risk to take these down. And yeah, you know, if you signed up for DFlock, I'm pretty sure they probably already have you on a list waiting to give you terroristic charges, because I think you may qualify for terroristic charges or even like threats or anything like that, because they might identify as government owned or government property. I don't know. I'll have to double check that. I don't think so, but I wouldn't be surprised because these are funded by the state, so I would assume they are. But you probably just need to leave these alone, and if you do protest them in safe ways. Do not catch felony charges. And like I said, these sound good on paper, but they're just so invasive, right? They're tracking people and storing basically you in a database. It's just way too invasive. This could have been done a lot better, but it's not. So just, they're especially like they're being put up on like bike trails and stuff. So Don't cut these down. Don't get charges and ruin your life. Be smart if you want to protest these. Don't be an idiot. Thanks, and be sure to leave a hate comment if you hate this video because YouTube removed me from being able to see dislikes.